So in Commando, he's just coming up through the ranks a little bit.
Yeah, but you see that he can really handle himself.
And then that's when he's promoted to this special forces team that goes to the jungle to investigate this alien predator.
Yeah.
Then, of course, this predator blows itself up, and he's clearly messed up at this point. And they do everything they can to be like, oh, it's going to be okay. We really need you. But he just can't. Like, he just can't come through from this traumatic experience. So I'd like to think, crossover another thing, I think Men in Black exist in this universe.
Okay. I like that. I mean, you got predators running around, so Predator eventually battles aliens.
Yes.
So that world, so aliens are real in this world.
Aliens are real.
So there's got to be a Men in Black.
Okay.
There's got to be a Men in Black.
Yeah. But I think that he's neuralized, and then they kind of rehabilitate him. They give him a new job. They give him a job as a police officer, saying, hey, he's still pretty good at that kind of stuff. And they move him special assignment to Astoria, Oregon, to chase this drug lord. And this is when he takes the job as a kindergarten cop.
Oh, yeah. They're like, yeah, you've been through a lot. Let's just put you around some kids.
And he doesn't remember any of this military stuff, but he kind of does, because he'll do like the military, like 2, 3, 4. You know, it's still bubbling under his skin a little bit, but he doesn't know why.
Yes, okay.
Then I think that he kills Cullen Chris, but it turns out Cullen has this really deep tie with a Colombian drug cartel, like deep tie, and Colombian drug lords are pissed. So they're coming after him, and they're like, uh-oh, we gotta relocate Detective John Kimball. We gotta put him in witness protection. So they send him to Minnesota, and they say, you got to start a family. We're going to give you this job as a mattress salesman. We're going to give you this new wife that's also in witness protection, and that's Jingle All the Way.
Oh, okay.
So he's just living as a mattress salesman in Minnesota. That's why, you know, he doesn't really love his wife. They don't really have a good relationship. He kind of hates his kid, too.
Kind of weird, yeah.
He kind of hates his life.
Yeah, there's animosity
There's
there.
animosity there.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of time trying to get this toy rather than just hanging out with his family.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's acting like his kid just has to have this toy, when really his kid just wants to hang out with his
He's
dad.
simply trying to
dad.
buy his child's affection rather than just, you know, be there for it.
Right, and maybe he doesn't even want to be at home. He would rather be on this mission to find this toy.
Yeah, see?
The mission.
Yeah.
The mission at hand.
Like that kind of mission thing kind of stirring something in him.
Yeah, it's built into him.
Yep.
To where maybe this is starting to short circuit him a little bit, because there's a theory that people think that Myron, Sinbad's character, is a figment of his imagination in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he's only seeing Myron in times of high stress. In fact, Myron never actually like interacts with other people other than Arnold's character. So what if
And Myron's really mistreated in this movie.
Oh, yes.
He's so bad.
Yeah.
Can we tie in Kazam somehow to that? But I think that he's slowly going insane at this point, to where after this is over. Wait, what was the idea you had?
But no, see, here's the thing: is Turbo Man actually goes over swimmingly for him after this whole parade thing.
Oh, he becomes Turbo.
So he becomes Turbo Man, and they decide to actually continue on with shooting like a live like TV series. And this, but what happens is during like the shoot, he's up at Lake Minnetonka, whatever, the land of a thousand lakes, right?
Yeah. Any
So
lake.
yeah, basically that turbo, the jetpack, malfunctions, sends him flying into a frozen lake, absolutely freezes him to the bone until they can find him again, and lo and behold, he's Mr. Freeze.
Oh, yeah. And now he's real sinister, right?
Yeah, now he's super sinister.
Yeah.
Now he's real.
He's like,
real
his
sad.
mind's messed up from being wiped a bunch of times.
Yeah.
He's discovered in a lake. He's frozen.
Who knows what dreams he was having in that lake? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
See?
So then when he was in the lake, now his mind's going crazy. He's having crazy dreams. He's dreaming. He's dreaming about Running Man, the future.
yeah.
He's dreaming about the future in this weird world. He's dreaming about the end of days.
End of days.
He's dreaming about, he's thinking back to all his old military buddies and how it was so great to just be jacked and like go in places and fight. And that's when he comes up with the Expendables in his head.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
just dreaming these things, you know?
Yeah.
telling
And there's
you, man.
got to be a Total Recall tie-in.
Oh, there has to be.
Because that's more mind-altering stuff.
I think maybe I'll just put this out there. Let's we'll stretch it a little bit, right? Turns out he's actually not found for quite some time, and then it's in the future, and we can travel to Mars, and they have to do all this stuff for like the like brain. What do they do in Total Recall? Where it's like they basically sit you back, in that chair, right?
Yeah.
And then he starts going through it and having that negative reaction. Total Recall, Running Man is just another dream state of him because it's the same chairs when he goes down the tube.
Oh, yeah.
On ya.
And maybe the whole Mars thing is just made up, too. That's just a storyline made up. They're not
think so?
really on Mars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
See?
it's just like a storyline that they're telling them.
Maybe just Idaho went through some really rough times, and
Yeah.
that's just where he is.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or I
You
mean,
never
obviously, maybe this is also the same world as the Matrix, and maybe at this point he's woken up to the world of being plugged into the Matrix. And these are the first couple evolutions of the Matrix where things get out of control.
Yeah.
Like, we got to reboot the system. So every one of these is just a different reboot of the Matrix until they get to the good one.
Yeah, you know, because he's in also True Lies, where he
Oh,
could be
man.
very similar to the mattress salesman. He just sits with his wife and has very boring conversations about business. Meanwhile,
These are
he's
the
a
Matrix
double
worlds.
spy. And then his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis, is seemingly a normal woman, but when she's called into action, she's like really like gets right into the prostitute role, and then she's able to fight off the guy, you know, with the
Yeah.
phone.
Yep.
I mean,
That's a great point. I mean, I think he probably spends more time in these undercover roles than we really think. I'm gonna
I
be
think
honest.
so, too.
Mattress
Last Action
salesman.
Hero's in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And
That's just alternate universe.
That's totally alternate universe. But also Eraser. That was another one too. I always got that one crossed with True Lies, to be honest, because I watched them at the same time. It's like because I listened to like the Three Doors Down album and Human Clay at the
Eraser
same
was-
time. I just assimilate those two. But yeah, Eraser was a wild one too.
it was, yeah, with is that James Caan and
it was.
Halle Berry, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
There's one that seems obvious, but I do really like to think that John Kimball in Kindergarten Cop is actually a Terminator.
Yeah, you know, interesting thought. I mean, either they took the prototype of this guy who's been through all these things and made him the Terminator.
Yes.
Or he's the Terminator in all these scenarios.
I know,
You know,
he's
he
just
just
always
keeps
the
getting
Terminator.
sent back.
No wonder he's having
They're
some-
early versions where
Yeah.
he's not as good, and they keep
Yeah.
sending him back, being like, "Oh, well, what did we think that the kid in Kindergarten Cop was actually like a friend of?"
Yeah, maybe he was also like real important to the movement. In
He was like a second
Terminator.
general in the
Yeah.
Terminator
Maybe
movement.
Terminator's looking for John Connor even back then.
That's
what I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was John Connor's buddy that like helps him get out of a jam. They're like, "Well, if we can kill his buddy."
He had to. You got to think they had to send him to different parts of the timeline, right? It's
Yeah.
like, why are we? Let's cast a wide net here. Like we're AI. We're Terminators. Okay, we're Skynet. Let's cast a wide net, a wide Skynet, and we'll see if we can get him at different points, and whoever wins wins, right? But I just love it because John Kimball he's terrible with people. He's got no people skills. And
Yeah.
we do know that Terminators do have to like learn and kind of incorporate into society and learn these habits. I don't think we ever actually see John Kimball eat ever anything. I think there's just, and he doesn't know how to deal with kids. We saw that in Terminator 2. Doesn't know how to deal with kids. I don't know who really genuinely wants a ferret as a pet. He thought that was interesting enough. I think there's a lot of real feedback here, a lot of genuine evidence.
That's
that
why his voice
he
sounds so
is.
weird. It's not an accent. It's
No.
just the machines didn't know what humans sounded like, and he's
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
develop his accent.
And he's been through so much. I mean,
Oh.
at one time he was they were trying to use him to reproduce.
Yep.
They were trying to make other Arnolds and then that went haywire. I don't even know. I don't even know how that turned out. I never saw that, but
And it all dates back to a young man just deciding he wants to serve his country.
That's right.
In
Yeah.
Commando.
yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
and all this happens because of that.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I think.
That's canon now. I mean, this is gospel at this
I
point.
think that's I mean, I think Arnold is the original kind of CIA character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just putting him in every scenario.
Yeah.
He joined the military and he had a mission. The first mission was to get your daughter back. And then when he was successful, they were like, we can use this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
This guy
This guy's really good.
broke the neck of another man on an airplane and convinced them that he was asleep. That's pretty good.
We need to clone this guy.
Yeah.
We need to
Dang,
clone
this guy's good.
Oh, my God. Oh, my.
Yeah.